Hello everybody, and hello from the dude who's sitting right here on a chair next to me. Sometimes people say to me they feel guilty because they only ever turn to God when they need help. So maybe you didn't know that people like me and Father Kenneth and Piotr and John and all the clergy and those who live in religious communities, and indeed these days many members of the church, now use a set of prayers throughout the day called the Divine Office. It's a series of prayers to be prayed at 7 moments throughout the day. Each of those 7 sets of prayers begins in the same way. O God, come to our aid. O Lord, make haste to help us. Well, that's just a fancy, formal, religious kind of way of saying, God, help, quick. And so the request for help is the basis of all the prayers that someone like me says. Just think about that for a moment. Millions and millions of people all over the world, 7 times a day, saying, God, help, quick. Don't feel guilty. You're part of a very large company of people. To ask God for help means we're admitting we're helpless. We're up against something over which we don't have any power. We are powerless, something that's very hard for any of us to truly accept. We prefer to try and fix things, and even fix other people, which is a bit foolish. And in our attempts to fix things that we can't, all that happens is that huge amounts of frustration and anxiety are generated. To admit powerlessness is the first step in any addiction recovery program. We've come to the limits of what we can actually do in a situation or a condition, and there's just nothing we can do about it, because we find ourselves confronted with something more powerful than we are. In this case, it's the microscopically tiny COVID-19 virus. We cannot fix this situation. All we can do, hopefully, is slow its effects down. But we are powerless. As human beings, we imagine we are so powerful and in control and that we can fix things, but once again we see we're not, and we can't. In recovery programs, to admit that we are powerless, that we need help, is the first step to becoming sane again. The odd thing is that when we do accept we are powerless, peace starts to settle in our hearts. There's a story told of Jesus that's called the healing of the Gadarene demoniac. The tormented man in the story is completely out of control and beyond ordinary help, because there's something working in him that's far greater than him. He's wild, he howls in rage, he's out of control and cannot be restrained. He rips to shreds the clothes he's wearing over and over again. He is powerless. Rumour spreads fast that the rabbi from Galilee has arrived and is with him. So the locals, who force the poor soul into self-isolation to try and manage the situation for themselves, set out to find out what's happened. They can't believe their eyes. There he is in quiet conversation with Jesus, now fully clothed, at peace, and in his right mind, his sanity restored. The second step in any recovery program says, we came to believe that a power greater than ourselves could restore us to sanity. I believe that this power is a person, in his own language Yeshua, in ours Joshua or Jesus, the one whose name means God saves. To admit that we are powerless and then to reach out to the one who is greater than us is to find peace, which can hold us safe from falling apart inside ourselves in what is an increasingly disturbing experience for many. The Divine Mercy image, which is now very popular in religious circles, has a simple prayer at the foot of the image. It's a simple statement of faith, like a tiny creed. Jesus, I trust in you. And for all our lovely Polish friends, Jezu, ufam Tobie. It may be the first time you will say these words, maybe the first time you're saying them now from your heart, but I invite you to say them. During this time, if you feel anxious or afraid or a bit overwhelmed, as I do too from time to time, try saying these words with me. try praying these words apart from just help. Acknowledge that you are powerless. We are powerless, and there's not a lot we can really do except what Mrs. Sturgeon tells us to. And then reach out of yourself to the one who saves. Say the words over and over as you need to. You will find peace. What do you think of that, dude? Ow! You little rat! Ooh, sorry. Peace be with you. Right you.